problem that a lot of people are facing is just these debt collectors. They're about to just go buck wild. I'm from down south, and that's just the way I talk. They're about to go buck wild on doing things to collect on this debt that they're purchasing from these original creditors. You know, everything that you've probably heard from the past about how debt collectors would just disregard the rights of individuals, and how when they put the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act in place was because of the harassment and all of the things that these debt collectors were doing to put pressure on people to pay debts that they sometimes didn't even owe. Like, the thing that I really try to get across to people is that the laws and the things that were put in place, it just didn't pop up out of somebody's mind because they wanted to come up with it. It's because there were debt collectors that were literally abusing people, utilizing tools to make people pay debts, some of them that they didn't owe or was past statute of limitations, or they were just abusing their rights by using the tactics to get people to pay a debt. My viewers, you that are watching, I don't think any of you, if you're struggling with your debt, struggling with your payment, have debt collectors, have charge-offs and all that stuff, you didn't just go in there and do it intentionally. It's a progression. It's something that happens over a period of time. Find yourself in too much debt, too much payments, and you start to make decisions about, I'm going to pay this and not pay that. And then the dominoes start to fall. Just because the dominoes started to fall and debt collectors started to buy your debt does not mean that your rights get to be stepped on. You always had a power of a debt validation letter to make debt collectors have to prove a debt that they claim that you pay. So have you ever gotten a call, a letter, or a text from a debt collector demanding payment? And I'll even include in our social media DM, direct message, because now they're allowed to do that. And you wasn't even sure if the debt was legit. You don't know if you have to pay it. You're not alone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a debt validation letter, one of the most powerful tools you have under federal law to stop debt collectors in their track by making them prove that you actually have to pay the debt and that you have to pay them for the debt. Because here's the truth. If they can't validate the debt, you don't have to pay them nothing. I'll repeat that. If they can't validate the debt, you don't have to pay them nothing. But I will admit that some of the times it's going to take work to make them validate that debt, even though we have the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act in our back pocket. This is just the world that we live in. So under the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, the FDCPA, Section 809B, you have a right to request written validation for any debt that a debt collector claims you owe. A debt validation letter is a simple one-page document that focuses the collector that forces the debt collector to stop contacting you until they can send you proof that the debt is real, that they have a legit right to collect on the debt, balances owed, and a number of other things. Once they receive your letter, they are legally required to stop all collection processes, and it is considered in dispute, and they cannot do nothing for a 90-day period. When you send your letter, you're not just asking for a receipt. You're demanding evidence. Here's what collectors must provide to validate the debt: a copy of the original contract or agreement with the original creditor, showing that you are the responsible party. A complete itemized account statement proving how they calculated the balances, the interest, late fees, and any payments, credits, rewards, everything. Proof of ownership, meaning that they had a chain of title that shows how they got the account transferred or sold to them from the original creditor. Verification that this debt is not past the statute of limitations. This is something that you would put in there, but you should also check this for yourself. If they can't provide you with that information, they're out of line and they're in failure of the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, and you can stop them from coming after you completely. When your letter is received, the collector must pause all calls, emails, and even if they're trying to pursue a lawsuit, They must stop the process if they haven't already filed a lawsuit. If they keep harassing you without a validation, they're in violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and you could sue them for up to $1,000 per in statutory damages per violation. In most cases, collectors simply disappear because they can't prove ownership or accuracy. And if they do respond, review all of the documents that they give you for everything. Make sure that they give you everything to prove the account, everything that I just stated earlier in this video. Now, putting together your debt validation letter, you need to send that certified mail. It's this green certified mail. You need to send it with this, because you want to make sure that they don't play any games that you didn't get it, or that they didn't get it. Sorry, that they didn't get it. And usually they're going to respond within a 5 to 30-day period of time. They need to get you all of that information. If they don't get it to you, you can write to them again and say that they're in violation and that you want them to cease all collection activities for that debt, that they should stop because they did not get the information to you within the specified period of time according to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. If they get the information to you, you need to review it to make sure that everything is in order, and then you can proceed moving forward with the next step if you want to do a settlement, or if the documentation is not complete to your satisfaction, you can write back to them and let them know what is either missing or what you don't agree with. Now, if you need help doing that, I want you to go to summonsmaster.com, where you can upload your debt collection letter right in the Summons Master, and it will create an exclusive certified debt validation letter that will do everything that I just talked about plus more to get them to stop. If you and it only charge you $27 to get that done. If you don't have the $27, I have a link below this video, and you can type in the information yourself, where you can get the letters for free. I do ask for a donation on those, but either which way you take, either which option you take, it will literally save you time, money, and frustration. If you're proactive about this, it's going to save you time, money, and frustration. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at creditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. It's Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of the creditrepairshop.com.